Hello, future developers. So, welcome to the continuation of our Python project, which is the optical character recognition. So, here we would want to actually read this particular information. Okay, Python OCR. Okay, so there's just a single line. So, in other lessons, we'll learn to work on multiple lines of text. Okay, so that said, this is the directory of my images. Okay, so the images are in this directory. Okay, so to proceed, what I would have to do is I'm going to have to type, let's create a variable. Okay, so I'm going to say image equals, and then we'll use, let me use a bracket, and then parentheses. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to copy my file. So this directory. So in here, you'd have to paste your directory here. Okay, so I don't want this, so I can better still just take this out. Okay, and then I'll leave it to this. But if I print, I'm going to get an error. If I run it, I should have an error in a moment. Let's see. That's in a new line when I'm trying to run the code. So let's see. Sorry, the image. I forgot to bring the image. Okay, so it's let's check the properties. Okay, so it's a PNG file. So I have to bring another backslash and then do abcd dot png. So that's the name of our file. Okay, so in the next line we would want to actually read, so reader. Okay, so there's another variable, and I'm going to use easy ocr dot reader. So we are going to use the reader model in ocr, in easy ocr, and then I'll change the language is going to be en, so English model. So if you look at the documentation here, we have this is this language. Okay, so and then English. So this language I think is it has multiple language at 80 plus languages. I guess I don't know if there's Chinese or I don't know Chinese hyphen sim. Um, thank you. When you have time, you would want to read the documentation. Okay. So where so here, okay, so we wanted to read it in English because that's what we have. Sorry, the en should be in the quotes. Okay, and I'm going to put a comma, and then GPU. So GPU, okay, equals false. Okay, so I'm setting mine to false because I'm going to run this on my CPU. Okay, even though I have a GPU, I'm going to run this on my CPU. Okay, so I'm setting this to false. If you read the documentation of EasyOCR, it has, let's see, for those who, okay, could there was a documentation that mentioned those who would want to use CUDA, you'd have to set it to some. Okay, so check this. In case you don't have a GPU or GPU has low memory, you can run the model in CPU only mode by adding GPU to false. Okay, then let's see the CUDA. Okay, so the CHSIM is a list of languages you would want to read. Okay, so you can pass several languages at once, but not all languages can be used together. English is compatible with very every language. Okay. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so here's CUDA. So you have to set CUDA to none. That's if you intend to run on CPU mode only. Okay. But so let's continue. So on a new line, I'm going to type results. So I'll create a variable result to store our information that's gotten from here. That's in our reader. And then to do that, we are going to type reader. Okay, so reader, this reader. So whatever variable you used, so reader dot, and then I'm going to use read text. So the read text model, so brackets, then my image. So this, okay, I'll copy it and then paste it here inside the parentheses. And then let's see the results. So results, let's see what happens. Okay, so nothing happens. Okay, so let me just bring another backslash and run this and then run this. Nothing is happening. Okay, so for some reason it wasn't working. Okay, but I use two backslashes. Okay, to actually, so there's the absolute path. Okay, so this where this image is actually, if you are using the relative path is the path where, so where this Jupyter notebook file is, you actually have the image there. Okay, but mine is in a different folder. Okay, not inside or where the Jupyter notebook this particular project is. So I had to bring the backslash double. But even though I did it, you notice we couldn't get the results. So I noticed something funny with my Jupyter notebook. Like anytime it's been idle for some time or it seems not to be running, I have to double click, right click, double click, and then it loads before I get the results. Okay, so I don't know why, but this is how come I was able to resolve this. So you can see now we have what um, a tuple, okay, and then that tuple we have a list. Okay, so there's the location of our text. Okay, so let's see where's the text. So this text, so that's what we have now. Okay, so it's extracted the text with Python OCR, and then we can actually fetch it out by using the results. So remember we created a result variable. Okay, and then I'm going to use the square brackets to pick, so zero. So zero is for if we had multiple texts. Okay, would count from zero, indexing from zero. Okay, so our index is zero, so zero for the first text. So this whole text is zero. Okay, if I print it out, it's still going to give me the same thing. So now let's add another square bracket and then so we want this Python OCR. So I'm going to type out 1. When I run it, we should have Python OCR. Okay, so our first text, which is this, and then okay, our first text. Okay, so all of this. Okay, so all of this, meaning the locations of our Python OCR, and then the confidence level. Okay, so there's the location of this text, and then the text. Okay, this text is it, and then the confidence level. Okay, is about 90%. Okay, so we use the index, so 0 for all of it. Okay, and then 1 to actually fetch this our Python OCR text. If I change it to 2, it should fetch our confidence for us. So let's change it to 2. Then let's see what happens. So you can see we have the confidence level being fetched. So we can do that on multiple files. If we want to play along, we have different texts. Okay, we can actually do that with the help of these square brackets. Okay, so thank you, and then I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.